Good morning. Good morning. Oh my God, today is election day. Today is the day that we're going to fuck around and find out. So, oh goodness, I'm telling you, there's been so. Last night I was trying to watch uh just regular TV and ID Discovery, and there were so many political ads. I was about to lose my damn mind. And guess what? They were all from Trump. I'm like, they must be reading my mind. Every damn ad. Good morning, Flower Power. You never called me back to let me know what was going on. So it's it was like every commercial. Well, matter of fact, I'm sorry, I wasn't watching ID Discovery. I was watching 90 Day the Other Way. That's what I was watching. Good morning, Franca. Good morning, DJ Mendingo. Uh, DJ, don't come in my chat with that. You know how I feel about you. Okay. Hi, DJ. Hi, Franca. Hi, Flower Power. Jenny O. Muggsy. Crafting with Amanda. Christoph fan always. Good morning. Did I miss anybody? Crafting with Amanda. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So everybody is on. Hi, Polly's Donuts. Thank you. So I was watching the live the press conference after my girl was convicted. Look, I said my girl. She and my girl. So Melody Farris, and I was watching the press conference, and I was like, okay, this shit is crazy. So I was watching that, and I'm like, she's sitting there like, you know, nothing's happened. Not her fault. She's not guilty. She didn't do those things. I was sitting there going, woman, have you lost your damn mind? I felt bad for her sons that was sitting in court. But I wanted to show you guys this. This is from the Philadelphia District Attorney. This was sent to me last night, and I laughed my ass off. So it's election day. Tempers are going to be really high. There is, I have a clip of an argument with a different view on political parties, and tempers are high. Today would be the day that, you want to be more cautious than anything. If you go to the polls, or if you haven't voted, don't put on anything blue. Look, don't wear anything blue, or don't wear anything red, because then you might just get attacked. Okay, seriously. You just go vote. Don't get into any kind of political discussions. Good morning, Maria. Don't get in any kind of political discussions. Go vote, do your business, take your ass home, lock yourself in. But this is from the Philadelphia DA.
I want people to be reassured that when they get up tomorrow to go vote, if they have not voted already, that everybody in this city is working and has been working for months to make sure that there will be nothing tough about that experience and nothing to fear in that experience. But I also want to be clear, anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out.
Oh, did we hear what he said? He said, F around and find out. Now, they boarded up businesses in D.C. yesterday. Businesses are putting boards in front of their businesses to keep any. I'm telling y'all, I don't see. I think this is going to be a shit show. So he told them to fuck around and find out. Hi, fight like a girl.
Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out. We do have the cuffs, we do have the jail cells, we do have the Philly juries, and we have the state prisons. So if you're going to try to turn an election into some form of coercion, if you're going to try to bully people, bully votes or voters, you're going to try to erase votes, you're going to try any of that nonsense,
Susan.
we're not playing. F around and find out. We are in a position where we cannot forget the reality of what occurred on January 6th. We cannot forget the reality that there is controversy about elections in the United States. And we cannot forget.
Excuse me. There's always been controversies, but there is nothing like what happened in 2020. Nothing.
The reality that it is our job to make sure in a nonpartisan way that every vote is counted.
Was that the guy?
We do not care. I am now wearing my nonpartisan hat. I wear two, but this is my nonpartisan hat. We do not care who gets your vote. We care that you get to vote.
Thank you. I keep saying, don't care who you vote for. Just vote. Vote. Make your voices heard. Vote. That's it. Vote. And whatever else, respect the office. You may not like the person or persons, but we should always respect the office.
That's the most important thing.
So my boy said,
thanks for watching.
Fuck around and find out. Okay. That's what he said. And I was like, wait a minute. That was sent to me last night. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to be, it's scary to think. It's scary. Hi, sweet potato. It's scary to think what happened then and what could happen now. And I'm so serious because you have these people that, everybody has their right to what they think. Everybody has a right to state their opinions, but standing in line to vote is not the time to do that. So hold on, I'm going to show you this. Standing in line to vote is not the time to do that. Even though they may seem like they're just holding conversations. No, you never know what'll be waiting for you outside. But let me tell you, so I had to go see a specialist yesterday. Didn't realize that I had an appointment yesterday. Good morning, Sarah motherfucking Z. Yeah, me too. So I was going and this old lady was walking. I stopped to the gas station to get me a cup of coffee. And don't ask me why, because I left my coffee on the counter. And so I needed coffee. She was walking and I'm walking out the store. And she says, well, I'm gimping out the store, but walking. She was walking up to me. And I'm like, what the hell does this old lady want? And she goes, excuse me, are you going that way? And I said, what way? She goes, that way down by the golf course. I said, I'm not sure. I said, why? She goes, it is so cold out here. I need a ride. Now she's clutching her purse. I'm looking around and I said, come on, get in the car. She goes, are you sure? She said, yes. I said, yes. I said, come on. I said, I'll take you where you have to go. And she goes, I don't want to put you out your way. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know where I was going because I had to put on my GPS because I had never been there before. I was going to see a specialist and I told her no problem. She kept offering me money for gas and I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I took her to her street. I said, I'll take you all the way to the house. Now, she said it was just down the road. She said she walks 3 miles when she walks. I said, this is more than 3 miles. This little frail white woman, I took her to her street. She goes, you can drop me off right here. And I said, I can take you all the way. She goes, oh, I'm just right there, sweetie, but I want you to be able to turn around. I said, no problem. And I told her from now on, call an Uber. She goes, well, how much is that going to cost? I said, depends on where you're going. If you're coming from where, probably $6, $7. I said, she goes, okay. Or she goes, I was thinking of catching the bus. I said, honey, it's getting ready to snow. And I'm telling you, if that was my mother that was walking, I would want somebody to help her. But it was cold. The wind was fucking whistling. It was blowing hard. But a part of me was scared because the way she was clutching that bag and she kept looking in her purse. I'm like, if this bitch pulls out a gun, I said, I'm going to jack her with my elbow. I did. But she was a little frail woman. But you don't know anymore. Shit, she could be an old woman trying to jack me. I don't know. So let's listen to this one. This is the confrontation. I'm just saying, you never know these days, but I felt so bad. And she had a little jacket on, so I knew she was cold.
A confrontation over presidential politics at an Alexandria cafe is going viral. It was last Friday in Old Town after one woman overheard a conversation and challenged another woman's support of Donald Trump.
Our Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey spoke to both women today and looks at how this is just one example of how Americans are on edge.
It's a little hard to make out the heated conversation, but Annetta Catching says it started when she was having lunch with 3 fellow Donald Trump supporters. Catchings is the Alexandria Republican Committee chair and a former mayoral candidate. She says she remarked to her friends that she could not understand how Republican Liz Cheney could support Kamala Harris for president.
And I said, as a conservative woman, I could never vote for Kamala. And before I could even go into the specifics of why, Patricia leans over, and so much so, like I said, she was just, it seemed like inches away from my face.
Patty Morrissey, who worked for more than 3 decades in national security, including a stint at the Pentagon, says the comment about Liz Cheney, quote, was a trigger.
I shouldn't have, but I said, maybe because he's a criminal. So it was a little wise-ass kind of comment, but I shouldn't have said that.
A convicted criminal.
But it was very strange how quickly, boom, it just turned on me. Annetta turned on me and said, are you a white liberal?
Morrissey says she'd also just heard about Trump's statement that Cheney was a war hawk and should have to face 9 guns trained on her face.
People are really on edge with this election. And so I acknowledge I'm really on edge with this election.
Catching says her friend started recording. Morrissey then asking how intelligent women could possibly.
I'll see if there's a program here, like on a Saturday or Sunday or something, and I can do that. Just help them out, but I'm not grocery shopping for anybody. I'll pick them up and take them. Then again, I don't think I have the patience to do that, to wait while they walk around and check every aisle. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Support Trump.
It means that you understand what someone is a convicted felon as a sex offender and accused of espionage, indicted for espionage.
Like I said, the only people who ever challenge this are white Democrat women.
Eventually, a manager intervened, and Morrissey and her sister moved to a different part of the restaurant. Catching says she posted the video to expose the kind of treatment she frequently gets as a Trump supporter.
I'm just sick and tired of these women feeling like that they can get in your face like that, and it needs to be exposed. And so, I've shared the video to expose it.
University of
I
Mary.
want to know, why are you voting for Trump, or why are you working for the Republican Party for Trump? Because as this woman just explained, he is a convicted felon. Convicted. Hold on. Let's just go back. It means you understand when someone is a convicted felon and a sex offender and accused of espionage and indicted for espionage. But,
I'm tired of these women feeling like that they can get in your face like that, and it needs to be exposed. And so, I've shared the video to expose it.
University of Mary Washington professor Stephen Farnsworth says the confrontation not surprising in this fraught political climate.
What's clear is that America is not in a happy place. Half of the country is going to be furious once this election is resolved, and many people are already very, very upset in advance of Election Day.
Morrissey says she's now receiving phone threats that her daughters are being harassed on social media. She says she should have handled things differently.
I would apologize to Annetta for interjecting myself into their conversation.
And Stephen Farnsworth warns that political confrontation might just be a preview of more to come after Tuesday. In Alexandria, Angela Carey, News 4.
So,
741
yesterday, I just want to get this out. Yesterday, Amanda, as y'all call her, Amanda Prayer Jar, wrote on her not yesterday. It was the day before. She wrote on her IG, because I take it people are accusing her of being a sock account. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my phone. And I'm going to tell you guys the last time Amanda posted, ready to be happy. So she posted, hold on her page. And I'm going to discuss exactly what she had to say, because she also sent me a message. So last time Amanda had posted was back March 7th on IG is when she posted. Okay. March 7th. Amanda said, over a year ago, I began pulling back from the community to the best of my knowledge. I've not been on YouTube at all in well over 6 months, probably more like 8. I'm not going to get dragged into any more trashy insanity. I don't know why Deadly would accuse me of anything. I've never spoken with him or about him. I'm not surprised Jules would publicly accuse me, though. She can publicly admit she's wrong as fuck again. As I now understand it, she did what she always does. That was her post. So then she sent me a message. And she goes, Heidi, I do not know if you do YouTube any longer, but could you do me a favor if you do? I left. I'm not going back because of JJ and going to post this message to my community tab. I want no part of any of that, but I know how to get the message across to anyone. But I don't know how. I don't do Reddit. I don't speak to anyone. She's telling me she used to be really close to someone, and I know that, and they haven't spoken in a couple of months. She says, Jules has her coat writing my family and asking why I haven't learned my lesson yet. I was pissed and clueless. It took me a full day to go listen to her lives to even figure out what I was accused of. Now, I know for a fact that Amanda has had some really serious health issues. I know that for a fact because I check on her. I also know that her mother just lost her mother. So why in the fuck do you have your little hive members reaching out to her family? What the fuck is wrong with you people? If somebody reached out to Jules' dad, you wouldn't be happy, would you? Or her sister or her brother? Would you be happy? Why the fuck are you bothering this woman's family? Because the bee got a bug up her ass and she thinks she knows who a sock account is. Personally, I don't give a fuck who any sock account is. I can care less. It doesn't affect my real life. But to go as far as to contact this girl's mother when she's going through hell right now. Her mother wouldn't give me the messages. She said, because that's a slippery slope. And I understand that. I get it. Because it's like you're passing messages. And I get that. I understand that. Leave her family alone. When I said a few months back that Amanda was having some serious issues, leave her family alone. For what? Asking has she learned her lesson yet? What the fuck? What lesson was she supposed to learn? I'm confused. What lesson was she supposed to learn? I'm just trying to figure it out, because we all know, and I still never saw that video where she had the nerve to tell Amanda, she was on Terry Lynn's panel, if you lost somebody, stay off the internet. No one reads your, but you lost your mother and you were all across the internet. Even the night of her reviewing, you had to come live on IG. Leave her family alone. Because you got a wild hair up your ass that you think you know who somebody is. Does anybody know who the B thinks Amanda is? Because she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me. Now, at one point, I need to go back and find it, because I spoke to Savage about this. At one point, I had some mods that changed their name, and I didn't even know who they were, so I got rid of them. It wasn't the funeral. It wasn't the funeral. It was the viewing. It was at night. It was the viewing, and the next day was going to be the funeral. So it wasn't the funeral. I was on that IG live. It was the viewing, or her wake, or however they call it. See, we do it all in one day. We do the viewing, we do the services, and then we do the burial. Again, contacting people's family members. For what reason? I just don't get it, people. I just don't understand. Because you wouldn't want it done to her, would you? No, you wouldn't. Not at all. She'll be crying. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, stop contacting that girl's mother. Leave her the fuck alone. You don't know how to let shit go. You just don't know how to let people alone. Same thing you were doing with Holly, mentioning her name all over the damn place when Holly wanted nothing at all to do. The Hive members contacted Amanda's mother, sent her, hold on, she said some of these DMs were vile. She says, well, all right, I'm not going to talk about that, but I know about that. They were very offensive and vile. I don't know how she knows it's Hive members. Maybe they signed their names. I don't know. I don't know. But they were sent to her mother. The fuck you? Amanda is a grown-ass fucking woman. What you contacting her mother for? Should we contact her daddy and tell her the way she acts online? I don't think she liked that too much. Nope, you can't step away. She was, even when Sherry wasn't around, she was throwing Sherry's name out. Sarah, I didn't even ask her, but she said the Hive members. So undoubtedly, she said she had to go to her live to figure out what she was being accused of. That's what her message says. I'm just like, for what? And I'm like, wait a minute, your mother? And I did. When I saw, I was like, oh my God. Good morning, brown-eyed cutie. Good morning. Brown-eyed cutie, did Controller go to jail or is she out of jail? I fell asleep when I was listening to Bomb. I don't know if she even discussed it. I really don't. Yep. She's still a liability, Marcia E. She's still a liability. That's brown-eyed cutie. Is brown-eyed girl here too? Because I didn't see her. Yeah, so I don't know, but she said that she had to go to her live to see what she was accused of what she was doing. There's brown-eyed girl. I have brown-eyed girl here and brown-eyed cutie here. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm just gonna leave that alone because this shit is getting horrible. Wait a minute. I choose to keep my mouth shut on all the BS and drama. Exactly. I'm trying to stay away from that. But she sent me that because I responded to her post. I told her to ignore the BS and take care of yourself and your son. That's what I said. But I guess she had to go look at the at her streams to see what is it that she's supposed to be doing. I do. I check in on Amanda every once in a while. She used to look at some of my stuff, and especially if I was covering a case that was going on, she would leave me a little comment. But for the most part, last time she posted anywhere, well, especially on IG, it was March 7th. And that's when she was playing with her niece. March 7th. Not one post since March 7th. So what is Amanda doing? Who is she accusing Amanda of being? Because you know she knows who everybody is, just like she knew Flower Power was really Just Beetle. Because every time Just Beetle's not around, Crazy Cat Mama was Just Beetle. Because every time Just Beetle wasn't around, Crazy Cat Mama happened to be in the chat. I'm like, how dumb can one motherfucker be? B, you get it? B. So Just Beetle had been around since all those Beetles were around. And at one point, I think Doom was supposed to be a Beetle too. I don't know. There was Sapphire Beetle. There was, I forgot what Shaylin's name was. But Just Beetle's been around. So when it was brought to my attention, and I just laughed a bit. And then I said, fuck this. I'm going to make her feel stupid. So thank you, Christoph. Thank you. Crazy Cat Mama, and I said it before, had got rid of that account. And she was coming in as Flower Power. Now, if she comes in as Crazy Cat Mama, notice she'll go right back out and she comes back in as Flower Power. Because Flower Power is the one where she has YouTube Premium. Crazy Cat Mama gets commercials. Flower Power doesn't. And I'm like, how in the hell? I don't know if she's still around or not, and I really don't care. But what I know is Amanda has serious health issues. Matter of fact, I said it a few months back. She actually had, Amanda has serious health issues. Serious health issues. And imagine her mother having to take care of her when her mother is not in the best of health. And now her mother has lost her mother. I do check in on her. I might check in. It may take her 2 weeks before she responds. Hi, sister. Sister, did you vote? Sister. I know you did. Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's no mess. I just want people to know. Good morning, George. Good morning. So, yeah. And Cranky's birthday. I was looking at my old sheet. And where is my sheet? Did I miss Cranky's birthday? Does anybody know? Hi, Savage. Or is her birthday coming up? Because I know she wasn't too far after TL. You early voted. Okay, baby. I was trying to find that whole list that I had. I was going through stuff that was in my computer desk, and I found a partial list. Yeah, I don't care about that. But so I was watching. So Dom Natty went live yesterday, and Squirrel Daddy was on. Now you guys may remember Squirrel Daddy. Him and his wife, who happens to be an OnlyFans model, had taken in a squirrel and a raccoon. And they had made this playroom up for them and everything else. Well, now they seem to think that they know who reported them. The house was raided. Hold on a second. The house was raided. And let me I can't find it. Oh, damn. I don't know where it was sent to me on. The house was raided. I don't know if it was sent to me on IG or not. The house was raided. The squirrel and the raccoon were captured. And they were euthanized. Now, they did a GoFundMe for $250,000 to help all of these animals that they've rescued. As of last night, within, I think, 12 hours or 20-something hours, they have raised over $179,000. These people were crying, screaming. They raised that squirrel since it was a baby. I don't know how the raccoon came into play. But they had turned this one room into a playground for them. They raided their home, came in and tore everything up. I don't know who sent me this. Somebody sent me this yesterday. And I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't know if it was on IG because they saw my short. Oh, there it is. I found it. So hold on a second. Let me show you. I got to change the screen. So now she has deleted her social media. She's deleted her social media. Okay.
Responsible for reporting Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon, which resulted in them being taken from their home and then euthanized. Her name is Monica Kessler, and she's from Texas. And
her name is Monica Kessler. Y'all remember that. Monica Kessler. Okay? That is her name.
Bragged about reporting Peanut and Fred. And since then, she has deleted her accounts. She deleted all of her social media accounts because everybody's extremely upset about this wrongful euthanasia. And for those of you that don't know, Peanut the squirrel was a beloved squirrel on social media with millions of followers who was taken from his home on Wednesday. He was raised by this family as a baby and then taken from his home because of a complaint by this woman. Both Peanut and Fred the raccoon were euthanized. But the thing that's crazy about it is she's a photographer that's a conservationist. A lot of what she does is film nature, but had no problem ruining the squirrel and raccoon's lives and the life of many other rescue animals. Because Peanut and Fred were bringing in a lot of money that was helping a lot of rescue animals, this is part of the reason why everybody's upset. And now all that is gone because of one person. I feel terrible for their family, but what do you guys think?
Okay, so here is the other one.
So we now know the real reason why the woman Monica filed a complaint against Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. It's because Inked Goddess here, also goes by Inked_Danny, is an OnlyFans model. And Monica here was just so spiteful and hateful towards these people for not only having animals and being profitable, but because she's involved in adult content. There is no other reason why she was so adamant about ruining these people's lives. And I'll say this, the world is tough enough. Whatever people have to do to make a living and get by in this economy is their business. Nobody should be shamed for how they make money. So because of the passing of Fred and Peanut, there's a GoFundMe started by Ink Goddess and her husband to help pay for all the other animals that are rescued that need help. You can find the link on her page if you want to support these animals. It's definitely what Fred and Peanut would have wanted. And what happened is a shame because these people are doing more than most people would do with the money that they have. And I believe protecting and helping rescue animals is one of the greatest things you can do. So we now know the real reason.
So that's it. They raised that squirrel from a baby. I don't know how the raccoon came to play. I can't remember. But he was on Dom Natty's yesterday, and Dom's probably going to upload it to his YouTube, or it still might be on his IG, but he normally uploads it to his YouTube so you guys can see the full interview. That man, I remember seeing him on the national news crying. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? They raided your home and took your family out. I didn't realize at the time he was talking about Peanut and Fred. When he said they broke in, they raided him, took his family out, and killed his family, I'm like, wait a minute, what? But he was talking about Peanut and Fred, and that's his family. They have the shells where they can run up and down, so they have this play area. I couldn't believe this yet. I saw you put True Knowledge up. But again, you got to remember, these damn people, mind your own damn business. Fred wasn't bothering you. Fred wasn't in your house. Peanut wasn't in your house. They weren't being tortured. They weren't being mistreated. They were being cared for and loved. They euthanized a squirrel. He wasn't running in the street where he accidentally got hit. That happens. He wasn't breaking into a bee's window. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing anything. It costs zero to mind your own day. I told you that's why I got to show y'all. I got to show y'all what I was working on too. But anyway, that was it. I'm going to pull up what I was working on. I was working on a design. So let me let you hear this real quick. This is about disgusting ass security guard that molested a student. Hold on.
Right now in a lawsuit against Chicago Public Schools with shocking accusations is just released this hour. Attorneys are calling it an epidemic of sex crimes. A former Dunbar Vocational Career Academy student now says at age 15, a school security guard repeatedly pulled him out of class to sexually assault and abuse him during school hours. Nick Kamanjaran with Chicago law firm Lane Brown LLC is here to talk about what's really disturbing allegations just made public. We want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this case. We're just hearing the headline, and I know many people, it only takes a few words in for you to wonder, how could something like this happen? But your lawsuit, I read through it, it alleges at least 6 staff members at the high school, including the principal, knew the security guards.
Okay, did we hear that? 6 people at the high school knew. 6 people knew.
Conduct violations and CPS policy and failed to report it.
That's correct. We have alleged, and through various investigations have learned through the OIG's office, DCFS, the state's attorney's office, and Chicago Police Department's investigations that various staff members of CPS knew about the grooming that was happening on a daily basis, which they were required to report under CPS policies and under certain circumstances state law, yet they failed to do so.
Yeah, so you mentioned that it really amounts to grooming here. The victim and his family, rightfully so, feel that they have been let down in this situation, but he's now 18. He says that this happened during 2021, so again at 15 years old. And reading over the case, I think I was most struck by the fact that as opposed to a lot of situations like this where you hear of a suspect pleading for their innocence, in this case the former security guard Tywayne Carter pled guilty in 2023 to sexually assaulting your client and another student. So he's been convicted, he's been sentenced to prison. What more do you want to see happen?
Well, the family certainly wants answers. They want answers. What were these teachers, these administrators thinking on a day-to-day basis when they saw this security guard pulling our client John Doe out of class, taking him to an unknown location for 10 to 15 minutes at a time? And they certainly want to ensure that he can continue on his path to healing. He's treating with a counselor and a psychiatrist, and he will likely need that treatment on a lifelong basis. He should be, compensated under our laws for what immense harm that he has sustained. And certainly he would like an apology and an acknowledgement of what happened to him from CPS, which they have not reached out to him at all to see how he's doing. Or to
CPS is Chicago Public Schools, okay? That's what they mean.
Extend that apology.
And that was going to be one of my questions, whether you all in your investigative process had heard anything from CPS or anyone with the school.
We have not. We have not received an acknowledgement.
Sister, when I come there, I'm going to make you gumbo, okay? I always make you gumbo. Oh, I always cook. I'll make you, girl, that gumbo so damn good. I got to put it in the freezer. But I'm going to leave a little bit out. Girl, I had a bowl last night. It was so good. I'm going to stop teasing you, though. I'll talk to you later. Love you, sister.
And nor has the family. And that's very hurtful for them. And they believe, and we believe as well, that shows just a blatant disregard for Doe's safety, his well-being, which is what led to this happening in the first place.
And has there been any pushback as to the details of this case?
No pushback. As I mentioned, the allegations of our lawsuit are based on substantial, thorough investigations by Chicago Police, the state's attorney's office, the Office of the Inspector General, and the Department of Children and Family Services. All the allegations are supported by those investigations.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. I think there is an inherent trust that all of us, parents, guardians, students themselves, put into those who are in positions of authority at schools. Okay, when you send your child to school, you expect that they are added protectors for your child. So the security guard...
We cannot trust anybody with our kids. They allowed this security guard, even the teacher, to go remove this child from the class time after time so he can molest this young man. Not a girl, young man. Whether it was a girl or not, it doesn't matter. Love you, baby. Molest them. So I was going to bring up something a while back, but I'm going to do. So even in the military, we're not even going to discuss all of this, but young men are being assaulted and AR'd in the military. Some don't come forward and some do. Some wants it known. They want them punished. The other ones are scared. They're not safe anywhere. And that's one thing that we know is the military does not. But they always want to try to handle it internally. Nope, it needs to be put out. It needs to be put up front, or lawsuits can happen, just like this one.
Allegedly said that he would protect your client from bullies, from gangs, as a sort of big brother. He was in contact even with the students' parents, it appears. You mentioned grooming. It's unfortunately not even specific to this case that we hear of grooming within schools. You found in the OIG report, Inspector General's report, that there were other instances throughout schools.
Correct. As you mentioned, there's another victim in this case, a victim of this very security guard. And the Office of the Inspector General has received over 300 complaints in the last year of sexual misconduct, which marks a 12% increase in cases such as that over the previous year. And there's a significant steep rise in allegations, which are particularly serious, of those involving security guards.
So where do you go from here? Again, this was just filed. What happens next?
Well, next we will get into the discovery stage of the litigation. We will be able to request documentation from CPS, written policies and procedures, things that we've already investigated and found, but to more fully evaluate what was in place at the time. And then we will be able to take depositions of all the members of the staff and the teachers and administrators that had knowledge that this was going on, yet turned a blind eye to it.
Wow, all right. You know, as hard as it is to hear of cases like these, my reaction in reading it yesterday, preparing for this interview, was that at least it's not a secret, because that will help other people, whether they have dealt with the same thing or whether they need to come forward and report what's happened to them as well. So we thank you for what you're doing. Please keep us updated.
We will do so.
On things from here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be.
So my whole thing is, why would anybody allow a security guard to come and remove a child from class without a teacher present? Why? And then here we go.
Tonight, an Arizona company that's under the leadership of Mesa's vice mayor is under scrutiny for voter registration forms.
12 News confirmed this afternoon that the group has caused problems in Maricopa County, and now there are issues in at least one other state.
12 News journalist Erica Stapleton is breaking down what we've learned.
Arizona business records indicate that Mesa Vice Mayor Francisco Heredia runs FieldCorps, the company that's accused of being involved in problematic voter registration forms. And it's not the first time the company has been under the microscope.
Voter registration forms can come with complications.
This has been a thorn in the side of county recorders throughout Arizona for many years, but it has picked up in recent years.
Including the 90,000 registration forms dropped off on the October 7th registration deadline this year, according to Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer.
We had people with entire trash bags full of voter registration forms in our lobby.
Of the big batch,
40,000 approximately of those voter registration forms were, I think the charitable word would be to say they were needing attention.
Like forms that were damaged, torn, hard to read, or just flat out wrong.
Voter registration forms that tried to register Mickey Mouse, Jerry Seinfeld, Donald Duck, among others.
Richer said a group that played a, quote, significant role in that big drop-off. FieldCorps, a company managed by Mesa Vice Mayor Francisco Heredia.
Yes, that is FieldCorps. Yes, this is a group that we have alerted in the past that we have been not wholly satisfied.
Hold on. We need you to get that hair, okay? If you don't go to the hair club for men, just shave it. Just let it go. It's running away. We need you to take care of this, okay? You can get the swoop over, get the toupee, swoop it that way, do whatever you have to do, but it's time to let that shit go because it's flying the fuck away or falling the fuck out.
With the voter registration forms that have been submitted.
Of the 40,000 problematic forms dropped off in Maricopa County on the registration deadline, Richer couldn't confirm how many came from FieldCorps. But it isn't the only issue with the company this year. In Monroe County, Pennsylvania, the district attorney there shared in a statement on social media that 21 voter registration forms linked back to FieldCorps were referred to the district attorney's office by the Board of Elections. The DA said they determined 16 of those FieldCorps forms were fraudulent, saying, quote, the specific fraudulent character of these applications involve forged signatures, often with incorrect or incomplete identifying information. Last year, the Arizona Attorney General's office said that 24 forms from FieldCorps in Navajo and Mojave counties were sent to the AG's office for investigation. That case was referred to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office and is still open. The AG's office said that all those forms were rejected, and none of those people were registered to vote. Neither Heredia nor his staff responded to my requests for an interview.
My problem is this: if you know you've been having an issue with this company, why do you keep using this company? Why? Why? I don't get it.
Says these issues with Field Corps are things they discuss with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office and the Arizona Attorney General's office.
And we have admonished them to please, please, please submit better voter registration forms, to please do more quality control.
These incomplete or inaccurate forms are taxing on county recorders' offices. Richer says by law, they have to reach out to the people on the forms to try and get information, more information that can get them registered. These are the safeguards that are in place that seem to be working here. The Arizona Attorney General's office says they have not received any complaints here about Field Corps this year or any other groups involved with voter registration. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
Erica, thanks.
Wanted to show you guys this. So this election, point blank period, is going to be, to me, a repeat of 2020. It's going to be a repeat of 2020. And I keep watching, I keep looking at different news things. It's going to be a repeat of 2020.
Only on 13, a woman says
it might even be worse. So happy voting day. I'm watching the results tonight too. I am. I thought about coming live, but I said, I don't know. I'm going to talk to Debbie and see, but I want to watch the results. And I know, I know that, that another creator, because it popped up on my thing this morning, is going to be doing it as well, but I don't go over there anymore. So I wanted to, oh shit, it was on the tip of my tongue and I forgot. I just completely forgot what I was about to say. Oh, be careful. And I can't stress enough when I say be careful when you're going out there to vote. Be careful when, because when you go in the booth, I don't know how it is here, but we have these little things that we go in. Make sure that nobody's not looking at what you're doing, which they have the petitions and stuff up high. Make sure you don't get it. No identifying markers on who you're voting for, what party you stand with. Don't do that. Don't do that. There was this, I'm going to call it a rebel rally last night in Alabama. They had the Confederate flags all on the back of the truck. They were actually surrounding like voting poll locations. Just be really careful when you're going to vote if you haven't voted already. Now, this story disturbs me. Okay? This disturbs me.
She was at the hospital ready to adopt a newborn.
Then she says she learned the mother was accused of trying to sell the baby on Facebook.
Sometimes we just need that village there. And I was willing to be her village.
ABC 13's Micah Hatfield has been working on this shocking case for 2 days.
And only on 13, Micah joins us live at the jail where the birth mother is facing charges tonight. Micah?
Gina and Eric, it might seem unconventional to connect with a pregnant woman on Facebook who's looking for adoptive parents for her unborn child. But Wendy Williams tells me that she herself was adopted and she's eager to adopt another child and give them the opportunity that she got. One thing that she said that stuck out to me is that she respected Juniper Bryson for trying to give her child a better life than she could provide him. But then things changed.
She led us on to believe that we were chosen.
Wendy Williams and her husband were one of many families, according to court records, hopeful to be the parents of this beautiful baby boy born on September 24th. The only difference between Williams and the other families is she was in the delivery room with 21-year-old Juniper Bryson.
She kept referring to him as my son. So when the nurses would ask her something, she'd say, I don't know. Check with his mom.
Williams didn't know Bryson, neither did the other prospective parents. They just responded to Facebook posts asking for someone to adopt Bryson's baby. Bryson chose Williams. She believes because she was local and Bryson went into labor early. She stayed at the hospital for 3 days with Bryson and the newborn, who tested positive for drugs, according to court records. But then Williams says she started getting messages on Facebook from people saying Bryson was trying to sell the baby.
Hey, what is this? You know, a lot of people are sending me these screenshots. What is going on? And at that very moment, she requested that the nurse remove me from the room.
Williams had already named the baby and signed legal documents, but Bryson took it all back. After finding out what she did, Williams contacted CPS and police were called. Investigators obtained conversations with at least 7 people on social media where they say Bryson was asking for money in exchange for the baby, including this one where she says, quote, "I'd ask for a minimum of $150 up front." Police arrested Bryson at the hospital for open warrants. This week, she was arrested for trying to sell the baby boy. Williams was not granted custody, but she holds out hope that she'll be able to be his mother someday.
Just that he just remains loved and safe,
that child.
because ultimately that's all it is.
At the Harris County Jail, Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Both city and state leaders say they are ready to handle any election day concerns. The goal is to make sure everything runs smooth and that the voting experience goes proper for those who are voting in person and those who still need to return those mail-in ballots. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now at a ballot drop box location in Roxborough with the story from there.
Hold on. Heather Gillespie is live right now. Heather Gillespie's supposedly Xavier's mom, his dad, and them have the baby. Heather hasn't complied with anything the court wanted her to do. Heather is a mess. Heather was live when I came live, and they were eating her ass up in those comments. So, and to me, it looks like she's pregnant again.
John.
Shari, this is a busy ballot drop box. I got to tell you, there's some people coming right now to drop off their ballots. We've seen them all day long, and they can do that until 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. They've got to get them in these boxes if they have one of those mail-in ballots. And officials gathered today. They held a news conference really to let people know that they have nothing to worry about tomorrow. They've got plans in place to make sure things run smoothly. In the dwindling hours before Election Day, officials presented a united front.
Guys, Little Havana in Florida is going blue. Oh my God, they are in droves. They are in the cars. They're going to the polls with all these signs on their cars, which is crazy. Oh shit, how it was sent to my phone. Hold on, it's on X. I'm gonna let you finish hearing this.
Trying to ensure voters that this election is secure.
I can guarantee you we are going to have a free and fair, safe and secure election in Philadelphia.
If you're going to try to turn an election into some form of coercion, if you're going to try to bully people, bully votes or voters, you're going to try to erase votes, you're going to try any of that nonsense, we're not playing.
On the local level, elections officials are coordinating with 50 assistant DAs and detectives, along with police, to enforce the rules and protect voters' rights. On a state level, Secretary Al Schmidt asked people to remain vigilant and not let disinformation prevent them from voting.
I'll make 2 commitments to you today.
I can't find it.
First, that Pennsylvania's November 5th election will be free, fair, safe, and secure. And second, that all registered voters will have the opportunity to make their voice heard.
Already, more than 2 million people in Pennsylvania have made themselves heard, sending in a mail-in ballot. In Philadelphia alone, more than 179,000 ballots have been returned, which is about half of the number mailed in 2020. Those can be processed and counted starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. when the polls open. As it stands now, some 50,000 ballots still have not been returned.
Please do not put this completed ballot into the blue mailbox. There's a great chance that we will not receive the ballot by Tuesday, November the 5th at 8 p.m. Postmarks do not count.
And that's the
so they have
really
to have it by 8
important
p.m.
thing.
The
They're saying
postmark
do
is left
not
out.
mail them now. You got to go to one of these drop boxes
Okay.
right here. Again, Shari, by 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. And here's how this is going to work. They'll have teams of people at every one of the 34 sites in Philadelphia waiting. They have a watch ready to go. As soon as it hits 8 o'clock, they're going to lock the box, take the ballots. That's it. Now, another thing I was told is that they'll be processing the ballots throughout the day tomorrow. So just a little after 8, maybe 10, 15 minutes, we should get that first batch. We'll know where things are headed. We're live tonight in Roxborough.
So we heard
John
that
Paul,
they
Channel
still
6 Action
counting
News.
votes.
Shari?
Okay. Yeah. So let me stop this one. This is what was just sent to me. So let me share my screen with you on this one. I haven't heard it yet. It was just sent to me. So we're going to do X, share, and let me see if it's on screen. Yep, it's on screen. Okay, let me do this. Let's hear this. I haven't heard it.
100 million Americans are a knotted up ball of anxiety. If that's you, give me 60 seconds. There's a reason why Democrats are the anxious ones and Republicans are the angry, violent ones. Anxiety is the healthy product of negative emotions, and we've had a lot of them. Anger and aggression, that's low emotional IQ shit. And right now we are in our emotional era. There are no data points to tell us what's going to happen tomorrow. I wish I could tell you that I knew Kamala was going to win, but data doesn't control the future.
Nope,
humans
it doesn't.
do. The greatest things that humans have done have not been data-driven decisions. It's because we felt something and we chose a new path. I don't wake up optimistic every day. I choose that for myself because I understand that our emotions dictate our behaviors. And I understand that people who are optimistic and enthusiastic vote at higher rates. That's why I'm here. It's not a coincidence that joy is on Kamala's side, and joy is how we do good things together. No great thing has ever come from rage and hate. If Trump wins tomorrow, it's not because Americans believe in him. It's because the right people leaned into cynicism when it mattered most. I had a real moment of clarity on Saturday night. I was watching Kamala Harris on SNL, and on one of the commercial breaks, I opened up my phone, and the first thing I saw was Donald Trump telling black people that Hispanic people are to blame for their misery. To see the contrast of their closing messages so clearly, so close to the election, it felt like a sign, and I don't believe in signs.
He also spoke poorly on Detroit.
About all of the powerful women in my life who have been a positive influence. And as I was shooting the video, out of absolutely nowhere, one of those women, we haven't talked in at least 4 years, and she sent me a message and said, I wanted to let you know I love your videos. I always thought she was a Republican, so I asked her. And it turns out she was. She voted for Trump in a red state in 2016, but she and her husband moved to Arizona. Now they're both voting for Kamala. The data's done everything the data can do, but the emotions are taking over, and they're good. If you believe them and we act on them, we will win.
And that's the truth. It's not about data. That's why I said the other day, I don't like polls. I don't like polls. But I wanted to show you guys this because we were talking about mind your business. I did this AI generated thing when I was laying up in my bed, and I had mind your own business, but I think I want to put fuck around and find out. So I did this and I was playing around with it, and this is AI generated. Okay. I told him what I wanted. I said I wanted the devil is busy. And that's what I came up with. And there it is right there. So I really like that. I really do like that design. So I think I'm going to get me some t-shirts with that one. And I'm going to put that on some of my t-shirts. I think I'm going to make me some sweatpants with that too. But that's what I was planning when we were talking about mind your own business earlier. But there's just so much shit that's going on out here. And everybody is thinking that this is, it's just another election. No, people's emotions are involved. There is so much hatred out here. You can't even have a difference of opinion with people. You can't. You know, it's like you either think the way I do or I'm just going to attack you. And that's just the way it is on YouTube as well. It's everywhere. You either fall in line, think like I do, believe what I believe, or, you know, that's it. We're going to have a problem. This election is really important. I don't care who you vote for. People say, I was getting all of these political text messages on my phone, and that's what I hate election season, whether it's national or state, all of these things. So I finally had to start saying, stop sending me shit. Another soldier was just found dead. It's just sad. We have Jesus Christ. So, and they're giving you warnings when you're going out to vote. Every news coverage has been giving you warnings, or as you say, a voter's guide is what they're calling it, on what not to do when you're at the polls. I put that short up the other day about the guy going in to vote. He had the mega hat on. You're not allowed to wear anything in the poll that shows who you're voting for. Hat, shirt, nothing. And that's been like that for eons. This is nothing new. He got into a ruckus with women. And I think that was his mother right next to him. I'm sitting there going, people, do we not see the division? There is a big divide in this country. More so now than there has been in a long time. In a long time. It's just sad to see that we have so many people that just, oh my God, the violence. Don't care about somebody else's life. That's been going on for a long time too. But now that with this election, we really need to be mindful of everybody. Just because you think, oh, she's black, she must be a Democrat. No, we just saw this one woman who was a Republican. Don't think you can sit there and have a conversation with somebody while you're standing in line to vote. Don't do it. Do your vote. Go about your business. Whether you go back to work, a lot of companies, actually, I know mine today, has let people, well, except the hourly people, they're going to let them go. But salary, you can go vote whenever you want to, just go out and vote here in Spokane. But the hourly people, they're actually letting them off 2 hours early so they can get to the polls to go vote. So I'm just saying, you guys, if you haven't voted, be mindful. Don't go in there thinking you're going to have a conversation that's going to turn out, the way you think. What? I just removed myself from my community Facebook group. People in there saying I just voted for the felon and the hillbilly. Oh, shit.
Good morning, everyone.
I want you to see this.
In the early hours of November 1st, 8 people were senselessly shot while out celebrating Halloween when a 17-year-old, Jalen Dwayne Egger, brazenly opened fire in large group in the middle of the street in downtown Orlando. 2 men died, 6 were shot, and 1 woman was trampled and injured while running for safety. Today, I have decided to charge Jalen Egger as an adult in this mass shooting. He is currently facing 2 charges, second-degree murder with a firearm, and the information that was filed this morning. Additional charges will be forthcoming in the near future. Charges of first-degree murder must come from a grand jury indictment, and we will present this case to the grand jury the next time they convene. This decision was not made lightly, and only after reviewing all the available evidence. This decision is based on several aggravating factors, including the brazen nature of the crime and the multiple victims who were shot in the middle of the street in downtown without simply celebrating Halloween. I have personally reviewed and looked at all the records and videos in this case, and there's no question that this individual should be charged as an adult. Orlando Police Department estimated nearly 75,000 people were downtown in the night of the shooting. That's 75,000 people running for their lives that night. To shoot into a massive crowd like that shows a truly disregard for life. And the only recourse is to charge this defendant as an adult because it fits the egregious nature of the crime. The defendant's prior history consists of one grand theft motor vehicle charge, which is a third-degree felony. By law, since that charge is still open, that case also will now be filed in the adult circuit court and will work its way through the judicial process the same way the mass shooting will. What is particularly concerning about these new charges is how someone felt embodied to shoot people at point-blank range in public. And it underscores a critical issue that goes beyond the specific facts of this case. And is a broader issue that is keeping guns and access to them out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
Okay, here we go. First of all, I would have had someone else come up here and read these charges because undoubtedly this prosecutor right here can't understand his own writing. And yeah, but when I was listening to the news, I heard a news reporter say they handcuffed him. I'm like, they did what? I rewinded again. He said they handcuffed him. I said, oh, no. They handcuffed, not handcuffed it. They handcuffed him. So this is
especially our youth. We can pass all the laws we want.
Okay, I can't take no more.
And they can do some
I'm
help.
sorry. I just can't. I can't take no more. I just can't. I can't. And I know I'm rude. But let's just go look at Melody Farris. I just can't. I can't. Let's look at Melody Farris where she's getting her thing, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Here we go. Hi, Claudia.
To the burn pile murder trial of Melody Farris. Now, we are, as we've told you, awaiting a news conference with the prosecution team. And of course, that is expected to go at about 5:30 or so. We'll bring it to you as soon as it begins. Just a couple of hours ago, the jury reached its verdict.
We, the jury, as the count 5, we find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, as to count 4, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, as to count 3, we find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, as to count 2, find the defendant guilty. And we, the jury, as to count 1, find the defendant guilty.
All right, so those counts were malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which was the underlying felony in that felony murder, concealing the death of another, and making false statements. Farris, she actually sat down stunned. She put her hands to her face after that verdict was read. We were told by Matt Johnson, who was sitting just behind her 2 sons, that Scott, remember, he testified against her. He was in tears as he listened to the decision by the jury. Farris then took off her earrings. She handed them over to her attorney before being taken into custody. She was then handcuffed, and then led out of the court.
Okay, did you hear it? Did you hear it, right? You heard it? I was like, wait a minute. You on court TV. We know better. Yes, I want the link. I want the link, Savage. I mean, unless you're going to discuss it on your show, if not, just send me the link.
Over to her attorney before being taken into custody. She was then handcuffed, and then led.
Handcuffed it. She was handcuffed it. I was like, wait a minute. She was what? She was handcuffed it. Not handcuffed, handcuffed it. I was like, okay.
Out of the courtroom and taken to the Cherokee County Detention Center to be booked. No date has been set for that sentencing.
Look at her.
We're hearing it could happen sometime next month or so. And just a little while ago, we showed you that mugshot that was actually taken of her now. Just incredible stuff. Just the drama.
Look at her. Let me see, can I find that link? She is horrible. Hold on,
Unbelievable. There it
Farris.
is,
I'm
that
gonna look to see if I
mugshot
can
of
find
her
the link.
in the Cherokee County Detention Center. No pearls in that shot, I'll tell you that. All right, still with us, criminal defense attorney Laura Yaretzi. And Laura, I want to get your reaction to that verdict today. It came after the jury came back and told the judge that they were deadlocked. A couple of hours later, they went back. He gave them the Allen charge. They came back with that guilty verdict. I want to get your reaction.
That's one of the reasons why defense lawyers don't like the Allen charge, because you kind of push the jury that's deadlocked into a decision, and sometimes people are pressured as a result, right? Because they want to, they're being sent back. They think, you know what, I'm not going to be out of this jury service until there's a verdict of some sort, because the judge is sending us back, and hence the reason most lawyers, defense lawyers, don't like it. Once the jury comes back and says they're deadlocked, we want it to be over right there and then, and get our mistrial.
Okay, let's listen to the juror. I'm sorry, but I had to get rid of her. Let's listen. Okay, Savage, I knew you were sending it to my phone, so when I saw the title of it, I just pulled it because I'm not transferring all that.
After more than 13 hours over 4 days, Melody.
You son of a, turn off the CCC. Oh, that's a horrible way that froze on her. Oh.
Farris was found guilty of murdering her husband, Gary, and putting his body on the backyard burn pile.
We, the jury, as the count 5, we find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, as to count 4, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, as to count 3, we find the defendant guilty. We, the jury.
Read, and Melody Farris's attorneys, we know, pointed the finger at Scott, claiming that he was the real killer. Melody Farris is looking at life behind down as that verdict was read. And Melody Farris's attorneys, we know, pointed the finger at Scott, claiming that he was the real killer.
What?
Melody Farris is looking at life behind bars now. Her sentencing set to happen in December, most likely. And this morning, we have a very special guest we're so pleased to welcome here on Opening Statements. One of the jurors who heard the Burn Powell murder trial, juror Bethany. Bethany, good morning to you. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with, what influenced you the most hearing this case?
For me personally, it was just the overwhelming, in my opinion, evidence that she was there during the opportune times for the murder and the cleanup, and that even though Scott had presence on the property during, those like between 12 and 6 a.m., it didn't seem like there was any kind of an opportunity. It didn't seem like there was any kind of a motive. So just all those things. For me personally, it was just kind of like that logical conclusion of, if nobody else is here to do it, then who did? Mm-hmm. And then you add in all the other stuff, and that just supported. For me personally, I wasn't quite there until over the weekend. I took over the weekend, and when I came in on Monday, I felt very at peace about what I thought had happened.
Was there ever a moment that you would say was pivotal? Was there ever kind of something with the evidence that made you go, oh wow, this for me might have really tipped the scales of justice?
Yeah, the phone calls. With Rusty. Yeah, with Rusty. There was a lot of conversation that I felt, there was a lot of opportunity. I felt like she could have denied it. She could have been more clear that it was appalling to her and that she had nothing to do with it. But to me personally, I felt like they just were getting their story straight carefully, because they were aware that they were being recorded, so yeah.
Sure. Bethany, being on a jury like this, obviously you're instructed not to look at any social media, watch any media about it, all of that. So perhaps unbeknownst to all of you, maybe you've found out now that the verdict was in. I don't know if you looked at it, but there was a great debate going on for the duration of this trial. Tell me, what do you think? Let's start with, what do you think happened? Because there were debates about who was the perpetrator, debates about how the killing happened. What's your belief when it comes to how Gary Farris was murdered and how he got on that burn pile?
I think that Well, first of all, I thought that it was odd that she left out the part where at least his phone traveled to a restaurant. So I think at some point while he was gone, the plan was decided to be executed. And then when he gets home, it happens. For me personally, it didn't matter whether or not it happened in the house or it happened in the yard. I didn't really care where it happened. I feel like the house showed evidence that something happened in the house. But I personally think that it's not difficult to imagine that she could have moved the body. When we got out to the site, it felt like it was a bit steeper than it looked in the pictures. I know my own personal strength. I know I'm a bigger lady than she is, but I don't have any mental reservations. If I had to move something with everything available, I would have figured out a way to do it. Like, that was not a stretch for me at all, the movement of the body. And I've forgotten. That was, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I wanted to know. Yeah, if did you think that the killing happened in the basement or outside?
I think it was shot in the basement.
Shot in the basement.
I think it was shot in the basement. My mental image of it is he made his way outside to some degree, and then he died, and she used equipment, or she just used gravity to get him down into that burn pile.
What about the track? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that was another thing that was a huge problem for me, was the fact that if not her, then somebody else did it.
Oh shit, what happened? I would have figured it out.
Somebody else did it. How are you unaware? That was a huge thing. Being completely unaware of shots fired, a body that size being moved, a body that size continuing having, I believe the fire had to be tended to. Somebody had to tend to it. And I don't see that happening without her being aware of it.
Sure.
Especially since she's up on the phone till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Something. She did it. She did it. And why is it spinning? I hate when it does.
Right. Bethany, I want to play a clip for you of when you all were deadlocked on Monday, that moment where the judge made that announcement and everybody watching this trial, engaging in the great debates online was going, oh my goodness, they're going to go back in. Let's take a look.
We have a note that says that they are hung and do not feel like they will be able to come to a unanimous verdict. So my plan is just to bring them in and tell them that they're the best qualified jury that there is to hear this case, and to send them back out and tell them to continue deliberating.
Oh boy. Okay, did you expect the judge to tell you to go back in and keep deliberating?
Yes, we did. We knew he was going to tell us to go back in and deliberate. I feel like there was a couple of us, I don't think me so much, but there was a couple of other people that definitely had more reservations and concerns about convicting. And I don't know, I just felt like it mentally.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put it on my other screen.
Emotionally, it was a lot for us. But we went on a lunch break, we took a breather, we came back, and we just got right back into it as if we had in the beginning, and just worked through just a couple more little things that, you know, a couple people had issues with, and then we all felt very solid about our decision.
What were those big issues that led to the deadlock?
I would say the lack of putting the gun in her hand, the lack of, you know, how did she get the body to there? The lack of evidence definitely caused doubt, but we overcame that with all the other evidence that was there.
Sure. Bethany, I want to talk to you about Scott Farris, because we know the defense squarely pointed the finger at him. I mean, literally, the defense attorney you saw pointed the finger at him in the closing argument and was saying that he was the one who killed his dad. Was the jury ever stuck on that idea?
Not for very long. That was one of the first things that we did, was rule out everybody else. We just looked at what they were saying about everybody else. And did we find that there was enough evidence to consider them as a reasonable doubt? And Scott was the last one. He took longer. But in the end, that was another thing, the CPAP machine. We don't think that if he would have been alive, you know, and killed overnight, he probably would have been attached to that CPAP machine. That's why there's just so many things that they're little things, they're not direct things, but logically you put them together and nothing else makes sense.
Did you feel that the state of Georgia presented a clear legal theory about how Gary Farris was killed, where he was killed, how he got onto the burn pile, and who did it. Did you feel like they made everything crystal clear for you as a jury when you went back to that room?
I feel like they made everything as crystal clear as they could. And there were actually big pieces of evidence that we didn't even really look at. We didn't, like the phone call mapping where it had like activity at different times and different, when she'd call phone calls. We didn't really look at that much. I can't remember the other things. There was a couple of other things that we just didn't look at very closely, but I think what they did a very, very good job of.
Okay, they did a great job. She guilty. But I just want to bring this to you real quick. Remember when I talked to you last year about the woman and her daughter that dismembered her mother and grilled her? Well, she was found guilty. And so when I hear about people dismembering and cooking, normally, but what shocked me about this is that these were the mother and the daughter. Well, the mother did it, the daughter helped her, but they were grilling her on a barbecue grill. So she's guilty
now at 7, a jury found a Maryland woman guilty of murdering her 71-year-old mother. Now, the details of the case are disturbing. Candace Craig has been convicted of killing and dismembering her mother with a chainsaw and burning her remains on a backyard grill. Prince George's state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy, says a verdict has brought justice for the family.
You use a chainsaw, dismembered her mother, unlike the woman that was cooking her mother. She was high on something. Blood was all over the place. Dismembered this woman and was cooking her on a barbecue pit.
It's disgusting. It's horrible. We look forward to the sentencing. We look forward to asking for the appropriate punishment at sentencing, and we hope that justice will continue to be in the favor of Miss Margaret Craig.
So she was found guilty, and it was disgusting. But I am going to discuss the Delphi murder trial that's going on because I'm not sure. I need to go back, but there was a possibility that there was going to be a mistrial in this, and this guy was going to get off due to this damn psychiatrist or whatever her name is that went in and was doing shit that she wasn't supposed to be doing. I pulled a mattress on a tarp. If you want to do stuff on you'll figure it out. Yep, she roped her daughter into it. Exactly. I'm like, okay. She actually seasoned it to try to mask the smell. I'm like, wait a minute. You season your mother. Hi, Party Rock. You season your mother. It was slap your mama, but it was really season your mama. So she can mask the smell. I'm like, what is wrong with you fucking people? You got the one woman that put her child in the oven, didn't realize the child was in the oven because she thought she put her in the bassinet. I don't know how the bassinet became to look like an oven. I have no idea. But it's voting day. Definitely voting day. Now, there is another trial going on right now. What's his name? Craig Lewis. And that's the trial where he burned somebody alive. But in Arizona, hold on a second. See, but they're live right now, and I don't know. I probably won't get hit. But also wanted to say Quincy Jones died at the age of 91, and Prince's sister Tanika. Taika, not Tanika. Taika, she died, 64 years old. Quincy Jones was 91, and she was 64. And I'm like, wait a minute. So she died. Quincy Jones, So hold on a second. I wanted to show you this one too. It's just been so much stuff that I've been that I haven't been able to get to, but the family, and now there's going to be a fight over her money that she got from Prince's estate, because all they're doing, even after he died, they were fighting over money, the brothers, the half sisters. So this is going to be, did you not say slap you? Yes, but they seasoned their mother, not slap your mama. Well, that's the seasoning. Slap your mama. Have you not heard of slap your mama seasoning? There's original and hot. Slap your mama is the name of the seasoning. I have it all in here. I have the original and I have the hot version of slap your mama. So I do have it. I use it. Yeah, that's what it is. But we're not going to do. You know what? I respect the office. And the way I looked at it when he was elected the first time, I said, well, he'll be in office for 4 years and then he won't get back in. And I said it. If he wins this time, he only has 4 years. Shit can go to hell, but oh well. That's what the people spoke. The people spoke. You have to abide by what the people say.
New details this afternoon about the night a Houston woman went missing. We told you about Angela Diaz, a 22-year-old last seen in Southwest Houston this summer.
4 months later, we're now learning a man is being charged for...
Hold on. You can order it online because a lot of the stores up here only sells the original. Every once in a while, if I go into Walmart, I'll find the hot. But other than that, they only sell the original, which is spicy anyway. But I like the hot one, okay? So I order it on Amazon so I can get the hot.
Promoting prostitution, and court documents allege that victim is Diaz. Our Troy Kless now joining us live with the latest. Troy?
Who's traffic they're thinking?
Well, Sherman and Jason, this weekend we told you about 22-year-old Angela Diaz, who was last seen in Southeast Houston on June 30th. And since that story aired, we've obtained new court documents that shed more light on what happened before her disappearance, and the details are difficult to hear.
On Saturday, an emotional plea from family of Angela Diaz, missing for 4 months.
We are doing everything we can as parents, but we need the help of the community, and we need the help of the officers and the detectives.
Her parents say HPD had assigned a human trafficking detective to her case, and we've since learned that police are investigating a man, Christopher Carvon Brown. He is charged with promotion of prostitution, and court documents in that case connect him to Angela's missing persons case. In the document, police lay out a timeline of events leading up to Diaz's disappearance that trafficking experts say they know all too well. On June 4th, 2024, undercover detectives contact Angela at a hotel for sex. Diaz was detained and her phone was searched. Detectives say they found messages indicating Christopher Carvon Brown had been selling Diaz for sex dating back to March. Angela's parents say detectives followed up weeks later.
She spoke to my daughter, Angela, a week before she got missing.
According to court documents, after Diaz was reported missing, detectives interviewed Brown. In those same documents, detectives say Brown claimed he tracked Diaz using an app called Life 360 on her phone, and that late on the night of June 30th, he dropped Diaz off at a motel along the Gulf Freeway. Police interviewed...
Now, when he said a motel along the Gulf Freeway, it's nothing about those, it's like the pay by the hour or 30 minutes. That's the shit they have over there off the Gulf Freeway in that area. That's what they have over there. So yes, it was prostitution.
A second man who said he had agreed to meet Diaz to pay for sex and was the last person to see her before she disappeared.
This is a very traumatic situation for both the individual, but also the family who's walking alongside the victim and praying for the victim and wanting them to get back to safely.
The group Faith Collaborative, which works with trafficking victims, says it can be a difficult situation to escape.
Escaping the trafficking situation can be incredibly challenging due to the psychological as well as physical and financial manipulation that happens.
And tonight, Christopher Brown is not in custody, but HPD is telling us that anyone who knows where he is should call HPD. As for Angela Diaz, her parents telling me this afternoon they are praying that anyone who knows about her disappearance will also call police. Back to you.
Okay, they don't know where he's at.
We're told if you're a victim of a crime to go to the police and report it. But what happens when they don't believe you? From the Center for Investigative Reporting, Rachel De Leon has the story of how far one child had to go to prove her innocence. And a word of caution, this story involves details of child sexual abuse.
In the fastest growing county in America, Polk County, Florida, its longest serving sheriff, Grady Judd, has a large media presence and delivers unapologetic, tough on crime messages like this one about an armed man involved in a car chase.
And he chose to die in a gunfight, we accommodated him.
Damn.
He said he wanted to go to heaven. We made the arrangements for him.
Damn.
Running this fall for his 6th term in office, he's a popular sheriff, once invited to the White House by then-President Donald Trump to discuss issues facing sheriffs, and later asked to join a federal council overseeing all programs related to missing and exploited children. He's made it his department's priority to go after child predators.
We'll go to the ends of the earth to arrest you if you victimize children.
Why punish me? What did I do for you to punish me?
But Taylor Cadle's extraordinary case raises questions about how, despite Sheriff Judd's tough-on-crime rhetoric, his department treated a child victim as a criminal.
Nothing that I did was I in the wrong. At all.
Taylor had a traumatic childhood. The state took her away from her birth mother when she was 7 due to violence and neglect at home. After a year and a half in foster care, she was adopted by her great-uncle, Henry Cadle, and his wife. But within months, she says he began sexually abusing her.
Oh my God.
I kept it secret because going through foster care, it was already so much of a traumatic experience that I was scared to go back.
Over the next 3 years, she says Henry Cadle used long car rides to abuse her off this road. One day in 2016, Taylor disclosed the abuse to an adult member of her church, which launched an investigation by multiple agencies.
Okay, well, how old are you?
Almost 13. I'll be 13 in October.
That week, Taylor was asked to recount what happened to her several times. In a recorded interview with a child welfare worker, she went into detail, hoping she'd be believed.
I'm sorry.
And pulled over on the side of the road and told me to get in the front seat.
But in a separate interview recorded by Sheriff's Detective Melissa Turnage, the tone turned confrontational.
If you're mad because you got your phone taken away, let's say that now and be done with it.
Oh my God.
From the get-go, she was rude. Simple terms, rude. When she continuously asked me the same question over and over, I almost told her she should probably write down what I'm saying because I didn't feel like she was listening.
Turnage treated Taylor less like a victim and more like a suspect.
Do you want to go live back in foster care?
Oh my God.
Because more than likely, if he's arrested, they're not going to let you stay there. But
Oh
if
my
it's not,
God.
you're fixing to hurt a lot of people.
Everything I told you earlier is not a lie.
Still, Turnage concluded that Taylor made it up. The detective wrote that she couldn't find Henry Cadle on gas station security footage buying condoms like Taylor said he had. And she couldn't pinpoint the location of the assault on that long stretch of road.
Every interview that we talked, she made me out to be a liar. And I told her time and time and time and time again that I am not the liar here.
There is no excuse for the manner in which this case was handled.
Jerry Seitz, a forensic expert who's worked with thousands of child abuse cases, listened to the interviews between Turnage and Taylor. She says Turnage's techniques were inappropriate, especially because very few children, less than 4%, fabricate stories of sexual abuse. But kids with traumatic histories are less likely to be believed.
Kids who have that history of adversity are the perfect victim because their offender knows they're not going to be as credible because they've had this difficult life.
There's no way with the details that I gave or the things that I said or certain locations that I could have fabricated that big of a story. There was no way.
Instead of Henry Cadle going to court, 13-year-old Taylor faced a judge for a charge of lying to police.
Oh my God.
She had no lawyer, only her adoptive mother, Henry Cadle's wife.
I walked into that courtroom, scared out of my mind. And my mom told me in the car
I hope not.
to just plead guilty and get it over with.
She was sentenced to 1 year of probation with community service. She also had to write 2 apology letters, one to her abuser and the other to a sheriff's officer.
Oh my God!
Taylor's experience is like hundreds of sexual assault cases I found nationwide as part of a years-long investigation into police charging alleged victims with lying. Due to privacy laws, I could find only a handful involving children, one as young as 11. Throughout, there was a pattern of police missing crucial steps in investigations. But Taylor's case is unique because she vindicated herself.
My on-call phone rang, and it was the on-call supervisor for my unit.
Joel Dempsey was the detective assigned to the case when Taylor called the police to report she was sexually assaulted again.
There was a previous investigation that the victim was on probation for, and then I also learned that new evidence would prove that some of the victim's statements were true.
Using her cell phone, 13-year-old Taylor made sure she got bulletproof evidence this time.
She had taken some photographs with her phone. She also took pictures of an empty condom box, as well as the clock on the vehicle, and then a short video of what appears to be the suspect walking around the truck.
This is the exact phone that I used in the 2017 case. I pulled up the camera, and on this specific phone, if you just tap the screen anywhere, it just takes a picture. So in my head, I was basically kind of like swiping, but in reality, I was taking pictures of everything that was happening.
Just like last time, she detailed the abuse to a child welfare worker, but with one big difference.
Oh my God!
They didn't find evidence for last time. I kind of tried to make sure that it was there this time, just so that way my story would get believed.
The photos she took with her phone were graphic.
So it was very shocking to see that, very sad, but a fantastic thing that she was able to collect it.
In Henry Cadle's recorded statement to Dempsey, he was adamant he was innocent.
I got the impression that because of the previous investigation and the result of it, that he felt somewhat secure.
But I want to ask you plainly, did you touch her?
No, hell no.
Now's the time to tell me, so I can get out in front of it. We can try to handle, figure out what's going on.
No, nothing happened.
At 4:30 a.m., the detective confronted Henry Cadle with the evidence.
Hey, Henry.
Hey.
You wanted to see what I got here? The pictures?
Sure.
See this?
Okay. Okay.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Who?
It's me.
Henry Cadle was sentenced to 17 years in prison for sexual battery of a minor. Taylor's criminal charge was overturned.
I don't remember any other case
Oh my
where the
God.
victim had the
Hi, Jody.
the forethought or the intelligence to collect their own evidence and to be so thorough. Just unbelievable amount of presence of mind that she showed.
I reached out to Detective Melissa Turnage and her boss, Grady Judd, multiple times to ask for an interview. Turnage never responded, and Judd's office declined an interview and didn't answer repeated requests for comment.
Oh my God.
Where was a person for Taylor? Where was a person to stand up to say stop and stop it now?
Since 2002, Florida State Senator Lauren Book has been working on state bills aimed at protecting victims of child abuse. She sent a letter to the sheriff's office requesting they look into how the system failed Taylor the first time around.
It happened to Taylor, and Taylor is enough to fix the system.
Senator Book says charging Taylor and letting her be assaulted again was entirely preventable, and properly trained professionals should have intervened at multiple levels.
You need to have people who are properly trained and who are in it to do the right thing. and really
Grady, I'm
walk a
looking at you in a
survivor
whole
through this
different light.
process.
So let's talk about being trauma informed.
I'm going to be looking at Grady in a whole different light now. But I want to show you this, and then I'm really, well, shit, I'm laid up, so I'm not doing anything. But let me show you this, and I'm going to put on fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. This is Trump bragging about his beautiful white skin after he attacked Kamala Harris.
Donald Trump has decided that the very closing message of his 2024 presidential campaign is, "I am white." During his rally in Michigan, which earlier in the day in a separate segment played a lot of crazy clips from that, but there was another one that warranted its own private segment here. And that is when Donald Trump told that Michigan crowd, right after attacking Vice President Kamala Harris, that he has beautiful white skin. Now, he said it, I will give you the full quote in the full context, but just kind of a primer here. He was talking about how he could be out, on the beach getting a tan, but instead he's got pasty, beautiful white skin because he's busy campaigning. But he repeatedly harped on having white skin, of course, in contrast to Vice President Kamala Harris. Here's what Trump said. She wants to tax companies. That's how we're starting. We're talking about taxes, okay? She wants to tax companies. You know what happens when you tax them? They leave. A lot of these big companies, they're run by they live in Switzerland. They have very glamorous lives. They have the life that I could have had if I decided not to do this, actually. Somebody said to me, "Are you glad you did it?" I said, "Absolutely. But I could have been on the best beaches in the world. I own the best beaches in the world. I could have been at the Great Turnberry in Scotland. I could have been anywhere I wanted to be. I could have had those waves smacking me in the face. That white, beautiful white skin that I have would be nice and tan.
Oh my God.
I got the whitest skin because I have never have time to get out in the sun, but I have that beautiful white, and you know what? It could have been beautiful, tanned beautiful. Okay, so aside from not being able to actually get the words out without stuttering, keeps harping on, I have beautiful white skin. Beautiful white skin. It's beautiful. I own beautiful beaches. I'm a rich guy. As opposed, of course, to Vice President Kamala Harris. So your closing message to voters is, I have beautiful white skin.
Oh my God.
You may think maybe I'm reading too much into that. Maybe this was just Trump talking about how he wishes he was tanned instead of pasty. Maybe it was. But I really don't think so.
Wait a minute. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? If that's what, oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, when you're running against a woman of color, and one of the last rallies you do, you're repeatedly talking about your beautiful white skin. There's really only one way to take that. He is trying to remind voters that, hey, the woman on the other side, she doesn't look like you. I, on the other hand, I have pasty white skin. Right? Don't we need more pasty white guys in American politics?
Oh my God.
That's the message. Vote for the white guy.
Not the right guy.
And if that's your closing
message,
message, then you can go ahead and kiss this campaign goodbye. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel.
I just did. I'm going to subscribe right now. OMG. OMG. I heard that it's, but not vote for the right guy, but we're going to vote for the white guy. Let me just hear this before.
Well, folks, the election, I don't know if you know this, just a couple days away now, and it's going to come down to a handful of swing states. So unfortunately, if you don't live in those swing states, nobody really cares about your vote.
Okay, let's just go here.
Americans from both sides of the political spectrum should be alarmed by Trump's words and behavior. The nation must confront the fact that beyond his hateful character, he is crippled cognitively and showing clear signs of mental illness.
Oh, shit.
They then cited as an example a recent disjointed monologue in New Hampshire where he rambled about the perceived injustices he faced and then segued into a rant about windmills causing cancer.
What?
They continued, "This is not an isolated incident. Trump's rally speeches over the past 8 years have become darker, longer, more profane, and increasingly unfocused and unhinged. A troubling sign that he is no longer able to articulate ideas or reason in ways we expect of our leaders. This makes him prey to manipulations by his own staff or, worse, the control of foreign adversaries. He shambles about aimlessly, slurs his words, and sometimes speaks gibberish. Always an effortless liar. Now that his speeches are nothing more than a series of lies tangled in a mess inside his head, it appears he no longer even knows he's lying."
Oh my God.
This was just a sample of what they wrote.
That was in a newspaper.
But it's
in
brilliant.
State.
And you know why it's brilliant? Not just because they're out there saying it, but because what they're doing is actually echoing what mental health professionals and linguistic experts have been telling us for several weeks now. The speeches, the rallies, the way he is handling himself up on those stages, those are signs of what is going on inside his head. Multiple outlets,
oh my God,
talking to experts, have told us about the darkness that Donald Trump has descended into. The New York Times actually did an analysis of Donald Trump's posts on Truth Social over the last few months, maybe even year, where they showed that he has gone to a darker place. He is more involved in conspiracy theories, retweeting or retruthing, it's called, some of the most absolutely absurd conspiracies you've ever seen. His profanity used to be back in the day, 2015, 2016, his rallies, guy wouldn't utter a curse word. Now, he does it all the time. He does it just flagrantly, almost for dramatic effect.
Oh my God.
Something has changed in him to where he thinks that this is what he needs to be. And then, of course, the lying. He doesn't even know that he lies anymore. I genuinely believe that when they say it too. He lies with such ease. Like, it's like breathing for him. To the point where I honestly don't think he knows that these are lies. Sometimes he doesn't know that he's telling a lie. Other times he's said the lie so many times he actually does believe it. That's what we're dealing with here. That is the danger of Donald Trump. Just one of the many dangers of Donald Trump that the paper points out. So hopefully in Nevada, this has an impact. Hopefully people read this editorial and understand what is on the ballot on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel.
I am shocked. The name of the channel is Ring of Fire. Let me drop this in here. Let me drop this here. I've found so many channels just by looking, and both views don't care. Like, I'm fed up. That's a really good channel. IHIP News. These are these two women that are having discussions. I found I really enjoy them. That channel was sent to me. Hi, Petty Dragon Fruit. Oh, she did. Thank you. Yeah, but I never thought she was a really good singer. I didn't know she sold it, but okay, so there will be no reason for them to be fighting to get her stuff. Okay. I was just shocked when I saw she passed away. And then when I saw Quincy Jones pass away, I'm like, okay, he's never going to face justice. Then I'm waiting for Clive Davis to go next. Do a Prince deep dive. Hi, Gypsy. How are you? I'm just like, I've been telling people all morning, be careful when you go out here today to vote. If you have to go out to vote, don't think that you're just going to have a conversation with someone and think that everything is going to be okay. Okay. Now, there was the Halloween parade. Hold on. There was a Halloween parade where they had, parade. Where was it? It was in Pennsylvania. where they had Kamala in chains. This was disgusting. It was blatant. Hold on. That's what I wanted to show you. Okay, here it is. 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 Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This was a Halloween parade. That's what I wanted to show you. I just don't know. I'm actually stuttering. I was flabbergasted by this.
It's a hot political season. What, you know, probably not something I'd want in a children's parade.
In this video sent to Channel 11 by a viewer, you can see the float that appeared during the Mount Pleasant Halloween parade.
Look at the guy.
You could see people dressed up as Secret Service surrounding a golf cart style vehicle. Riding in the cart is a person wearing a mask of former President Donald Trump. On the top of the vehicle is a fake.
Notice he said former president. He is a former president. Unless he's reelected today, he's not president. He is former President Donald Trump, not president. Every former president has that in front of their name. I can't stand when I hear the news going president. No, he's former, unless he's elected, re-elected to office. Well, elected, because whatever. Let's go.
Sniper.
The worst part of it was the fact that there was either a rope or a chain that was attached to the back of the vehicle, and there was a woman who was to resemble Kamala Harris in handcuffs and chained to the back of that vehicle as though they were dragging her.
This is not a good look. You know, this is simulating a lynching down Main Street in Mount Pleasant.
That's Josh Huff. He was at the parade with his wife and said he was immediately stunned seeing that float.
It was dark. It was like, you know, this has been escalated, you know, way beyond what it should be. Somebody in power had to say, hey, yeah, that's fine. You know, that's okay.
How did this get approved? How did this make it through approval to get in the line to be in the parade and then continue on through the whole parade route?
And that is a legitimate question, and I cannot answer that totally.
The mayor tells me she's meeting with the borough manager and council president and might get the solicitor involved.
After it's already done,
DC
I'm not sure that there's much we can do except for going forward.
I reached out to Bill Bretz, the Westmoreland County Republican Committee chair. He sent me a statement saying in part, quote, "We certainly don't condone the simulation of political imprisonment or violence in any context, no matter the party affiliation of those involved."
This needs to stop. In this country, this needs to stop.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
So one video that was sent to me, I'm sorry. One video that was sent to me actually shows I actually have people screaming, "You're disgusting. This is disgusting." And I didn't get it. I'm sorry, PMR. I just remembered, and you did send it to me. But you hear people going, "Disgusting. How do you do this? This is shameful." But this is crazy. Now, I was telling you that DC was boarded up. Let me just share this with you. I'm telling you, they're waiting. They are really thinking that this is going to be bad.
Let's start with our very own David Kaplan. He's live in Northwest D.C., where the city is locking down, preparing for whatever may come Tuesday. David, a lot of security measures are already in place, and earlier there are crews working hard behind you.
No, it's not.
Yes,
okay.
Sierra, definitely. We've covered the sort of fortification of Washington, D.C. leading up to the election, and know that this posture is going to sort of continue for a while. We are here at the Naval Observatory right here where Vice President Kamala Harris lives. This is the fencing that has gone up around the perimeter of her home. Crews have been hard at work all afternoon. We've seen them getting this fencing up, obviously in advance of Election Day on Tuesday. Want to show you some video from earlier in this week. We saw a similar situation at the White House. Fox News also learned
this is the White House. The street over here is H. I work diagonally across from the White House. I mean, I would go to the corner and there's the White House. I worked diagonally across from the White House.
Be enhanced security measures ahead of and after the election, particularly around the U.S. Capitol. Officials telling Fox 5 that D.C. residents can expect this enhanced police presence as well for a while, adding that they will prepare for any responses after the election is over. Some businesses near the White House also not taking any chances. We saw some emphasizing they're remaining open but opting to board up their windows as a precaution. Fox 5 speaking with a D.C. resident about all of these security changes happening in the district right now.
Sad.
I mean, it is sad that it has to come to that. I do understand why a lot of store owners, especially like local businesses, would want to do that. Even outside of the elections, there have been like other instances where like they should have boarded and they didn't. But yeah, it's sad that it's the reality, but I hope that this time it was just a precautionary measure, nothing happens, and then, yeah.
Exactly, Wet.
Now, regardless, particularly as we approach the January 6th certification in Congress and leading up to the inauguration, we're told that we can expect to continue seeing these types of precautions in place. In particular, we're told thousands of police officers from across the country will be in the district for those events, specifically in January. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser saying they have been preparing for all of this for months. Sierra?
Yep.
So here's the thing.
News Now is your local election.
Hold on. Here's the thing. As far as so they're boarding up. When I lived and worked in D.C., I can remember when they put up those concrete barriers in front of the Capitol. I can remember when they put them up with the Capitol. You used to be able to walk up there, eat, just sit on the steps. Can't do that anymore. They put up these big concrete barriers. And I forgot what was that when they went in and they rescued those students. I remember all of that shit. My salon used to be right up there on Capitol Hill. And where I used to go get my hair and stuff done. DC has changed so much. I remember all those old brownstones. I remember I told my ex-husband I wanted to buy a couple because he was like, I said, let's get a couple of those. And all of a sudden, corporations started buying them. And then they just took them down. I was like, I mean, you were able to actually walk up on the Capitol steps and just sit there. Can't do that shit no more. You can't. All the terroristic threats. And somebody was saying one day that, I forgot who was saying it, that we've never seen anything like this except for this century. And it's not funny anymore. I used to go walking around Rock Creek Park after they found that girl's body that was there, who was dating the senator or who was having an affair with the senator. I was like, well, no more. I said, I probably walked by her shit thousands of times because we used to go walk up there every Sunday. Not doing that shit.
With just hours until Election Day, local and federal law enforcement agencies, they're beefing up security here in the district.
Including the area around Howard University, where Vice President Kamala Harris will hold her election night watch party. We have live team coverage for you tonight as crews finalize their preparations in D.C.
Yeah, our Daniel Hamburg live downtown with security concerns and the impact on businesses there. But first, we check in with our Mariel Carbone near Howard University.
And Mariel, at this point, D.C. police say there are no credible threats, but certainly I'm imagining they're preparing for any and everything at this point.
This is sad. You have to do this.
Yes, Susan, that is the exact message from the chief tonight, that law enforcement officials, they are ready for what happens tomorrow and beyond Election Day. As you're mentioning, Howard, they've already got the security fences up around much of the perimeter, including here on Georgia Avenue. This as law enforcement officials warn people, both visitors and residents, that no violence will be tolerated.
And it runs up all the way into Maryland.
With hours to go until Election Day, federal properties are increasing security, like at the Naval Observatory.
It's unsettling. You will notice increased patrols in key areas downtown and around the White House.
The Metropolitan Police Department is in full activation mode, ensuring people can get to and from all 75 district polling places safely. Despite
they don't have the partitions up.
Smith is doling out this warning.
There will be no tolerance for violence in our city, no destruction or any unlawful behavior.
Tuesday, the agency plans to deploy its new helicopter, Falcon 1, and use drones to protect key areas. The Real-Time Crime Center will continue to monitor citywide, and MPD will work with federal partners on planned events, including in and around the Howard University campus, where Vice President Kamala Harris will hold her election night watch party.
And there will be personnel assigned to manage that crowd. Everybody is, I think, feeling a little
Oh
anxious.
my God.
Mayor Muriel Bowser is encouraging people to take care of themselves this election.
We have two distinct choices. I think people feel a little powerless, especially for us who don't live in swing states. But we do still have power because we have to exercise our votes.
This is sad.
And another thing to note, to help support MPD, the force, they have actually brought on some unmarked cars that they rented. They put MPD logos and lights on them, and those will be set up mostly helping with traffic and street closures. The chief wanting people to know that those are legitimate MPD officers working in the cars. So, of course, you'll want to follow any instructions that those officers give you.
And Marielle, since you're there and there's so much fencing around not only Howard University, we saw it as well as where the vice president's residence is as well. Is it giving people a sense of safety, or is it really intimidating to see so much security?
It's both.
I think it depends who you ask.
I think your basement is crowded, Maria.
Yeah, this does look safe, but other people you're talking to, more the tourists that have never been in D.C. and seen something.
I wouldn't go to D.C. right now.
Definitely feeling a little uneasy. So it depends where you're at, who you ask. Certainly a lot around campus and throughout the city.
Well, DC News Now is your local election
I'm serious.
headquarters.
And in anticipation of Election Day,
I want you to see all of these businesses that are boarded up.
That are boarding up their businesses, and the cost of this extra reinforcement is having a financial impact on some owners.
Yeah, DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live downtown at the corner of I and 13th Streets. And Daniel, you spoke to some businesses who are pushing back tonight.
Yeah, Chris and Susan, some businesses didn't have a say. The building owner here decided that they wanted to put this entire facade up to protect the area. But the owner of Pow Pow actually tonight got the construction crew to remove part of this wall, although the construction workers tell me that the owner of the building told Pow Pow's owner that if something happens, it will be their bill to pick up. Seen as unsightly for some, but necessary for others,
I've never seen this shit
becoming
before.
a common sight downtown.
This is kind of depressing. People are like missing where the restaurant is, and like it's hard to make it really look personal too.
Cadence Gerald works at the restaurant Pow Pow, which until Monday night was hidden behind this wall. Only one sign on the sidewalk and one barely poking through above. The building owner's decision has impacted business.
People are saying they can't find like where the restaurant is. They think that something's going on where they can't get inside. But I mean, we're open. If you see the sign, that might help you. But if not, it's been dead.
Seeing buildings boarded up has locals and tourists on edge.
A little anxiety-inducing, I guess. It's quite worrisome. I'm assuming it's because of the big election tomorrow. It seems like there's a lot of anger that's building up, depending on one way or the other. I don't plan on being here tomorrow during the day for a few days after.
Nothing's going to happen, in my opinion, before the council ends.
Joy Anderson, who works downtown, thinks it may be overcautious for election week, but understands why businesses are taking these steps.
My own personal opinion, I think January would be more of the time to consider it. But if if people think it's better safe than sorry, then I say this week is fine.
Now, I'm told the building owner here plans to have these wooden walls up for about a week after tomorrow.
That would be right.
Election Day, and also plans to put them back up for the week of January 6th when Congress will certify the election results. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News.
So okay, this is me thinking this, okay? So basically they're doing all of this because they're thinking that Trump is going to lose. That's the way I see it. I can't see, I really can't see the Democratic Party acting up and acting stupid. To me, this is in This looks like they're thinking that Kamala's going to win and Trump supporters are going to go crazy. Minnesota too? Jesus Christ. This is, I'm serious. I said I was going to start watching. I was going to talk to Debbie and see if she wanted to do a live tonight to talk about, because 90 Day Fiance the other way and Before the 90 Days was off the chart. But then I thought about it. Today's an election day. I said, while we were doing the live, we can go back and forth and look and see what results were coming in. But I'm going to talk to her and see if she wants to do that. But that's what I'm, see, Marcia, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, you're in Atlanta, girl. I haven't been in Atlanta in years. I used to always be in Peachtree City and Stone Mountain. It's scary to see what's going on right now. Not only is this election important, but people are living in fear. So again, be careful today. Tomorrow, just be careful. Be careful out there, because I just have this feeling. I remember the last election when at that time Amber and I still had a channel together, and well, I'm not gonna. So we were watching the returns, and Amber was calling me, and she goes, "Oh, whoop 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 whoop." I said, "Girl." I said, just wait until they start bringing in those other ballots. And she was like, no, no, no. Even her husband was in the background saying he needs to concede. He needs to concede. We knew that wasn't going to happen. I want it over with. I want it done with. And whatever the people speaks, whatever they speak, however it goes, that's what we have to accept. Do everything you need to do, because I'm telling you, this has gotten out of hand. This has really divided. Elections are supposed to be, you're going in, you're going to vote. You don't have to be boarding up shit. You don't have to worry about being shot at, being harassed, which there was always a little harassment at the polls anyway. But it wasn't this bad until Trump ran for office the first time. Wasn't this bad. So toilet paper too? Well, I got a lot of that. Got a lot of water. Matter of fact, I got to go to my car because I buy that big old, was it 48 thing, and I can't carry that shit. So I go out there and I just take it out the trunk and put it in. But I think I have one bottle left in the refrigerator. I need to go out to my garage and get it. Well, I can't go get it right now because I can't carry that shit. That's too much weight. But I will, I'm going to ask my neighbor as soon as I hear him upstairs to go out to my garage and get it. Yep. So I'm just waiting. But anyway, I hit Costco last week. I'm good. Dirty bitch. January 6th is unforgettable and unforgivable. Exactly. 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 I still can't believe that this man put his, I'm sorry. He says that he came on and told them just stop. Yeah, they had to prod and poke and everything else. You put your vice president life at risk because you didn't want to leave public housing. Public housing. You didn't want to leave that office. And Lord help us if he does not get elected, because then he's facing all of these, he's facing a sentence. He wants to be elected because that way you can't, a sitting president. Y'all got to look at the whole picture. The whole picture. I'm sure he didn't vote for him. Pence has been talking out. Exactly. Exactly. I am just totally shocked at all of this shit that's going on right now. Just shocked at all of this bullshit that's going on. Now, haven't heard anything about Jimmy Carter. I'm sure he did an early vote. Look, because he said he wanted former President Jimmy Carter. I don't even know if he's cognitive enough to vote, but okay. There will be problems on both sides. Exactly. He's running to avoid prison. Either way it goes, I think there's going to be problems. I'm serious. But I really can't see. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I can't see the Democratic Party acting the way the Republicans did January 6th. Oh, he did a mail-in ballot? Okay. I just can't see it. But for them boarding up everything, to me, it's saying they're expecting Kamala to win and all hell to break loose. Now, at one poll, I did look at it. I don't do polls. She was at 47.8. He was at 47.2 or whatever it was. But at one, then I looked at another one. They were neck and neck. I hope not. I really hope this is better than the last time, but I don't think so. And it's sad. It's sad that we see this. I'm looking at a live right now, and I'm going to drop it in the chat for you guys. It's and it's one of the swing states, I do believe. It's just really, really sad that we've come to this for a fucking election. There were 2 cops shot. Oh my God. So I'm going to, so CNN is covering it live. Fox is live. They're at the voting things. You have Las Vegas, polls are open. They're showing lines out there. So I'm probably going to watch CNN, which is what I did the last time. I watched CNN. I didn't watch no other news station but CNN. So that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm going to be watching CNN. So you guys be safe. Tina Peters in Colorado was sentenced. Yes, I actually showed that. Cooch, are you going to go live? It's just I'm looking at all of these channels. North Carolina, we got MSNBC. They're telling you when the polls are going to be closing. Oh my God. Okay. So they're talking about Trump's meltdown. So when you go to YouTube, you put in news. There's not a tab right now for election. Brown Eyed Girl, I didn't forget to call you, okay? I saw your message. I haven't forgotten. Okay, you're watching Daily Mail on TikTok. Okay. Yeah, I just, okay, Cooch might be going live later on. It'll be late this afternoon. I'm going to talk to Debbie to see. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, especially in Houston. They have federal officers there monitoring the polls. This shit is crazy. This is crazy. And we got JD Vance, and I don't know, something about him makes me think of a predator. That's just me. I'm watching Georgia. I'm watching Georgia. I'm gonna watch Georgia, Arizona. I want to watch that to see what's going on. I love you and Debbie live on Beat tonight. I'm gonna talk to her and see what she wants to do. Hi, Jonathan. Is it Thanksgiving already? Oh, you watching the BBC coverage? I might watch that too. Well, I heard what Vance said. It was really, really bad. But you know what? Still don't know why he chose Vance. He had other people he could have chose. I think that would have made a better running mate for him. That would made him look better, because you got Vance who talked shit on you when you were running the last time. Why would you choose this man to be your running mate? Thank you, Scotland. We have an automatic recount law if it's closed. Well, was that Arizona last year that did the recount? Was that Arizona? Not last year. The last election, was that Arizona that had to do a recount? I can't remember. I can't remember. But Vance voted earlier, and he just did. They said his closing thing was horrible as well. The arrogance of these people. Yep. Okay. It was Arizona. Thank you. Okay. So cool. So you think he's going to have Ohio? Okay. Okay. I like to watch the swing states because I actually keep tally with the electoral votes. And I remember I was doing Arizona with the last election, and I was like, if he gets these, and I was like, and then the whole shit with Pennsylvania was bad too. You know what? I got all these little boyfriends on TikTok. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, beautiful sunshine. How are you today? I'm great. I'm telling you, all these men on TikTok. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna keep a look at that. You think she's gonna get Arizona? Huh. Okay, you had Georgia won't be releasing its results tonight, but at least for the county surrounding Atlanta. See, and that's when I go, like when they were talking about that he had Georgia last, I said, Georgia is mostly black, Pennsylvania too, but let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes, because I look at the swing states. That's what I look at. Oh, Sebastian, the reward now is up to $175,000. Dog the Bounty Hunter put out a statement on it's a statement is out there. They said they've had credible sources as far as Idris Elba. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't want, but they're saying that they have leads in Ohio and New York, I think. I'm trying to find it. I'm gonna turn the sound off. But the reward for Sebastian now is up to $175,000. They said they're following credible sources for Sebastian. So again, oh my God, they're making fun about how the White House is going to look tomorrow with people doing twerks and stuff. But I was looking at that and I wanted to bring it up. But they are actually saying they think that Sebastian is alive. So I'm just trying to find where it was, but I'm following Sebastian. I forgot the name of the lady on TikTok. I've been following her for quite some time now. Oh, here it is. Law offices. So, Dog the Bounty Hunter reward is up to $175,000. The name of the thing is Private at Night. That's the name of the channel that I've been following. They're saying that they're following up credible sources. They've got 2 leads, and they do believe that that they're credible, and they will be following them up. So I don't know what they have, but Private at Night. They're saying that they're credible, and they're following them up because for some reason they're thinking Sebastian is alive, which to me, if the mother and the stepfather didn't have anything to do with it, or if they did, if they knew where the son was or where they put him, I think by now that all of the investigation and everything else, they would actually be saying where he is. Now, if this young man was actually taken from his home, oh my God. So there's a female that unalived herself next to her car on the property, on the new property of John Paul Miller. Get the fuck out of here. Hold on. This woman unalived herself on John Paul Miller's new property. Okay. So here's what Vance had to say. Let me just share this.
Kamala Harris. In 2 days, we are going to take out the trash in Washington, D.C., and the trash's name is Kamala Harris.
So let me get this right. Trump got upset because Joe Biden says that his supporters are garbage because he called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. But then you have your running mate calling the vice president trash.
Oh my God. Can I see that again? Can we play that again?
In 2 days, we are going to take out the trash in Washington, D.C., and the trash's name is Kamala Harris.
That's what he
Give me
says.
One more time.
In 2 days, we are going to take out the trash in Washington, D.C., and the trash's name is Kamala Harris.
In my humble view, lights out. Women, you can disagree with us. We've actually learned to take it for our whole careers all the time in every forum. But you call us trash? Oh, J.D. Vance, you just stepped up in a way that I've never seen in my political life, and I worked for Sarah Palin.
So this is what this man had to say.
Trash in Washington, D.C.
Trash. That was J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance called the vice president trash. But you got upset because Biden said that your supporters are garbage because you said Puerto Rico was an island of floating garbage. So I'm going to give you this thing on TikTok. It's called Hindsight. They're talking to Katie. They're telling her, if you fear your husband and want to speak in private away from him, they want you to reply with the number 2 and delete the text. Then call this number when you're away from Christopher. We will be coming Tuesday to speak with him. They are trying to get Katie away from Chris so they can talk to her in private. I think she does have some type of fear of Chris. I really do. Now I'm going to show you this, and hold on. I'm going to show you this. Hold on, let me stop. I'm going to show you this, and I want you to see this for yourselves, this is disgusting, but hold on. This is disgusting. This man was milking his dog. You know what? I'm not going to show you. This man was milking his dog. It was caught on camera by his wife, and she filed for divorce. This is on TikTok. The camera, it shows it, him milking his dog, and I'm just going to put it right here. You guys can go take a look at it yourselves. I'm not going to play that. That's the name of it. Storytime Yarko. It was caught on camera. He has gloves on, and his finger is up the dog's butt, and the dog is humping, and then he has it's disgusting, and he catches the dog's semen. Okay, go watch it for yourselves. I'm not playing that shit. I'm going to send it to you. Oh, I don't know if I can send it to you, Dusty. Hold on a second. Hold on. How do I get, okay, I'm going to send it to you Instagram direct right now. I just sent it. How you doing, Dusty? I just sent it. It's disgusting. No Q-tips. No Q-tips. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm going, though. I'll call you because I had to go see a specialist yesterday. I'm good. I don't know if he's a dog breeder or not. I don't know. I put the name of the thing there. I don't know, but she filed for a divorce. So undoubtedly, he's not a dog breeder. Soon as she saw this, she filed for divorce. So that tells me he's not a breeder. That tells me he's not a breeder. Okay? So if you want to see it, I just put it there. Storytime Yarko. Let me see whose channel this. Hold on, let me look and see what the channel name is. I think I just put it there. Yes, it's at, okay, here is the at sign. Okay, at Storytime Yarko. That's what the TikTok handle is. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ. Oh, it made me want to throw up. Oh my God, that's disgusting. It's one of their featured. It says, this woman immediately filed for divorce after a hidden camera caught what her husband was doing to their dog. And guys, I don't want to show it because I would get hit hard. I sent the link. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it on my stories on IG. I'm just putting it on my stories on IG. So if you follow me on IG, it's in my stories right now. I know, but I'm trying to avoid that. I really am. I really, really, really am. Definitely don't want to do none of that. So let's see how this goes. But I'm just disgusted. I just saw that. Disgusting. All right, guys. I just put it in my stories. If you want to see it, it's in my stories. Love you. You guys have a great day. I'm going to get with Debbie. I'm going to send her a message to see if she wants to. Oh my God. That's not in Las Vegas. Yes, it is. Hold on. Let me show you this. This is the ball in Las Vegas. Look at that. Damn. All right, guys. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to play music and I'm out of here. Bye. I need to get up. Bye, guys.